Good morning, Facebook people. My name is Earl Rush, and I'll be hosting the show this morning. The name of our show is NFL Gameline, where three prognosticators pick 7 games each week. And we're not going to tell you who to bet on. We're just going to tell you who we think that is going to win. Along here with my broadcast partner, Larry Abels. Neil Abels, his nephew, will not be on the show today, but he did send in his picks. So we're just going to run along, and we will let you know what Neil's picks are after Larry and I picked. We know you're very busy, and Mr. Abels is very busy as well. So we're going to get straight to the games. Larry, how are you today?
I'm good, Earl. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. It's great to be alive, and God is good. But you already know that. So, we'll move on.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Our first game for the day, Larry, is the Jets at the Steelers. Who do you like?
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh to win that game. I think I just have a little more confidence in them, even though I'm a little questionable or somewhat concerned about their quarterback. But I'm still going to stick with Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. I like the Jets. They got Devontae Adams. The Jets turned everything around. They made some major moves. They fired the coach in 1 week. They signed Devontae Adams, and they also, the guy Reddick has agreed to come in. They're working out their issue. So their mentality is going to be excited about him coming. They're excited about Devontae Adams. I'm going with the Jets.
Okay. I think Neil also picked the Steelers, so.
Okay. All right. There we go. Here's our next game, Mary. Next game is Seahawks at the Falcons.
I'm going to go with Atlanta. I think Atlanta has just a better team than the Seahawks, even though they're only 1 game separating them. But since the game's in Atlanta, I don't think the team from the West will fly east and win an early game. Okay. I'm going with the Falcons.
I like Atlanta as well. I more so than ever, I don't like the Seattle quarterback, Davis boy. What is his name anyway? Geno Smith. I don't like too much. Other people besides David are talking about them, but I'm not buying him. I never bought him. And Kirk Warner, he's doing all right down in Atlanta. They're starting to click with his receivers. I like Atlanta.
Okay, I mean Kirk Cousins. Yeah. Neil also likes Atlanta, so I guess all three of us are in agreement on that one.
Okay. All right. Our next game, Larry, is the Raiders at the Rams.
I hate to do this because, my favorite player plays for the Raiders, Charles Snow III. However, I'm going to go with the Rams and win this game. And both teams are doing horrible this year, but I'll just take the Rams. I have a feeling about them.
I just can't go against young Chuck. I'm going with the Raiders, man. I'm going with the Raiders. And I learned last week, by the way, we'll get on that before the show's over. You can't be emotional. You can't be emotional. You're not gonna win.
I'm fighting the urge. Neil also picked the Raiders, so.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, so you have the Raiders and I have the Rams.
All right, we have a couple more games to go. But before we move on, let's talk about last week's dismal performance by the sports doctor, myself, and the great performance by Larry Abel. 2 records were set. We've been doing the show for 2 years. Larry's our third year.
Third year.
We've been doing. We're going on our 3rd year, and we set records last week. I set a record for the worst picks of any of the weeks in 3 years. I went 1-6, and Larry Abels, after doing our show for almost 3 years, set a record for going 7-0 for his picks. Last week started off, I was 2 games up, and on Larry and Neil, and as you can see now, things are really not looking that well for me. But overall, all of us still have great records for the season.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. All right. So I want to give a shout out to Larry Abels for going 7-0. Now the thing is, I'm going to put him out there. He said, I can't remember whether he said he needs to go 7-0 again, or he was going to go 7-0 again. I don't remember. I haven't listened quite. Which one did?
My goal is to go 7-0 again.
Oh, you didn't say that you were though. You said that's what you need to do, right?
Well, I don't need to do it as I have a lead, but
Yeah. No, we're just asking. Are you saying you're going 7-0, or you would like?
That's my position every week. Yeah, I'm going to go 7-0. That's my position.
Well,
I don't pick any games wrong. Matter of fact, I don't let my emotions get involved because had that happened, I would not have gone 7-0 last week.
Okay, for sure. Let's move on, Larry. The next game, NFC East rivalry game. The Eagles versus the Giants.
This game's in New York, but I'm going to go with Philadelphia. I think that they will show up and play. It's always kind of tricky. Just this is one of those trap games. But I got to think Philadelphia is going to pull this out. I look for Barkley to have a big game against New York.
I'm doing the same sentiments, Larry. Same thing, Barkley. The Giants are trash, man. They're just trash. They're just trash. And who does Neil like?
Neil also likes the Eagles.
So there you have it. Okay, the Chiefs at the 49ers.
Oh, things started to get tricky here. Chiefs have to lose sometime, so I think this is probably the week they will lose. I'm going to go with San Francisco to stop Kansas City's unbeaten streak and defeat the Chiefs.
Okay. I love Patrick Mahomes. I don't bet against people I love. I love Patrick Mahomes. I'm going with Kansas City. No need to go on a whole lot of craziness. I'm going with Kansas City. Despite what majority of sports fans seem to say out there, they say the Ravens are the better team despite their 2 losses. Kansas City Chiefs is the best team in the NFL. I like Kansas City.
There's certainly an argument made for Kansas City because they beat Baltimore. So.
Yeah. Who does Neil like?
Neil also likes the Chiefs. So you and Neil have the Chiefs. I'm telling the 49ers.
All right. The next game, Larry, the Houston Texans versus at the Packers.
I'm going to go with Green Bay. Unlike some people, I think Jordan Love has been playing very well and he continues to play well. I'm a believer in him, so I'm going with Green Bay.
Well, it's odd because I'm always pulling for the brother quarterbacks. But I'm not really that big on both of them, even though they both have been playing well and they both look like they're great. It's just weird that I just don't feel them for whatever reason. But I don't feel either one of them. I'm going to do a Neil thing, and I'm just going with the home team. I'm going with Green Bay.
Okay. Now, and what's unusual is Neil is not going with the home team. He's going with Texas today.
Okay.
So maybe he sees something that we don't see.
We never see it. That's right. That's why it's good to have 3 people on the panel. Okay. All right. And our last game. Oh, shucks. In our last game of the day, Larry. By the way, you're doing a great job on the show, and I'm having a great time. The Lions. Oh, shucks. You know what? Last week there weren't that many games, and it seemed like this week we were struggling to find some games. But the 7 games we picked were excellent games, except for the Rams and the Raiders. The other games we picked were very nice games.
Oh yeah, I think everyone else had winning records just about.
Yeah. So the last game, Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm gonna go with the Vikings to win this game. I think that there's a lot of sentiment out there about the Lions, and people don't believe in the Vikings. I believe the Vikings will win this game. I got to give their quarterback Sam Darnold credit. He doesn't get a lot of press, and people have been very hard on him, but he's played well this year, as have the Vikings. Minnesota.
Wow. I think I'm going with Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
I'm not that impressed with Detroit either. Everyone's talking about Detroit. Everybody's talking about Houston's quarterback. I don't see it. Give me the Vikings.
Okay, and Neil also took the Vikings.
Okay. All right.
So we do have a few that, we have some disagreement amongst each other. So it's possible that there can be some more jockeying among the standings that we can see. Just in case people didn't notice, those are the standings that are scrolling across the bottom of our screen. And as you can see, all of us are above 500. So,
there you go. There you go. All right, Larry. Well, thank you, Larry, for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the show this morning. I had a great time. I wish you luck, and we'll talk next week. But you can check Larry and myself out every Wednesday on Real Fellas Talk Sports every Wednesday night on YouTube and Facebook Live. Hope everybody has a very blessed, productive day. This is Go Earl, aka the Sports Doctor, and Larry Davis. We're out. Okay.
Peace.